Sokovi here with another initial impression video for you today, and the anime that I'm going to talk about today is Gakkou Gurashi, or School Live. You know, living at school. And this anime is basically about zombie apocalypse and girls living at school. Now, before I get into this, let me talk about the characters really quickly. And let me talk about anime in general. There's a type of character in this anime that generally I can't stand and I hate. And that's when a character is an adult or close to being an adult, a senior in high school, grown, but they act like they're an infant, a toddler, or elementary schooler. I hate that in anime, wish it would die out. Now, that is in this anime. And so, I watched the first 3 episodes before I gave my initial impressions to try to get some depth into it, because the first episode was focused on this character. And it wasn't really that good of an episode to me. It wasn't anything particularly going on. So the majority of the first episode, you're just going to be like, And so I was watching it like, this is nothing. I'm done. I'm going to be done with this. But then the very end, twist, kind of, not really a twist because you already knew what the anime was about, but it kind of, oh, this is what's happening. It kind of exposed some things. She's delusional. And so that got my mind going. Okay. Then we got to episode 2 and I was like, still wasn't the greatest thing I'd ever seen. I still didn't like that character as much. But then I'm kind of getting context. It's going back. It's showing some things. It's explaining some things. How did we get to this point? That's being explained in episode 2. So I'm like, oh, okay. All right. And then episode 3, I'm like, oh, okay. And that kind of opened it up for it. If it wasn't for episode 3, this anime would be a complete bust to me right now. But episode 3 is letting me know this anime isn't starting high and staying high. It started low. It started low for me. And then each episode elevated it. So I wish they hadn't done that. I wish they could have worked it in a way, wrote it in a way where it started high and stayed high. But in the way that it's going, it's piking my interest. It's not an anime that I'm like, oh man, I gotta see what comes next. But due to the facts that each episode so far has successfully been better than the previous episode, from where I initially started the series wanting to just be done with it, until now I'm like, okay, I'm interested in finishing this. Now I'm not gonna just stay on it, but I definitely will, once it's complete, come back to it and check it out. But I say that now, but if I see episode 4 and it's even better than episode 3 and it explains more things and does more things and keeps the ball rolling, then I don't know, that might all change. But with this anime, the story is literally just, these girls are living at school because there's zombies outside and they're trying to survive. And now, with the one girl who acts like a child, I'm really thinking something terrible happened to her and she just broke inside. And I'm thinking they're going to explain that coming up soon. I kind of want to see what exactly happened. Episode 3 kind of showed some things, but I'm thinking that there's something else that happened after that. Like, if you watch, when you get to episode 3, you're going to be watching and thinking, so how did they get from here to where they are in episode 2, where they are now currently, and how did they get to that point? And then that starts spinning. Like, I want to see how that happened, because what they're showing now is very interesting. So you got to explain how they went from being where they were to where they are in that school. That needs to be explained. I want to see that. And I'm hoping that they get there. But like I said, this anime, each episode is getting better and better, doing the story better. I wish it was all started off all top notch, but I feel it's moving there slowly, gradually. Also with this anime, I feel as though it doesn't mesh together what it's doing so well. It does an all right job. It's okay in how it does it. But the silly atmospheric, childlike behavior of the one character and the atmosphere that she brings about and the joking nature and the silliness doesn't mesh well with, the zombie section and the mental things that's going on. I just feel like it seems like they were going 2 different directions and then came together, but it didn't go well. It kind of missed off some. I'm just feeling like there could have been better put together than that, but I don't know. It maybe Maybe at some point it all meshes together once the story gets rolling and gets kicked in. Then you're like, oh, okay, it fits together. Or as the later episodes come, they do it better. But as of right now, it just doesn't seem to fit with the story that they're telling and what they're showing and what they're doing. It like takes you out of it when it goes to each segment. Like depending on what type of anime you're watching at the time, it takes you out because it switches to the other type and goes back and forth. And I just don't feel like it does a great job of doing that. So with my initial impression, my first impression of Gakkou Gurashi, School Live, it's an alright anime right now, but it's just not something that I feel I'm going to just dive into at this moment. I'm Jacoby. This has been my first impressions of Gakkou Gurashi, School Live. Have you seen it? Are you watching it? Do you love it or do you hate it? Let me know in the comments below and go ahead and click that subscribe button as well. Why not? Also, do you have any anime that you started off watching that you thought were one thing or thought you wouldn't like, but then as they went on, they got better and better, and you was like, yeah, I'm glad I stuck on with this? Because I feel like this anime is going to be one of those. I feel like that's what it's going to do. So do you know any other anime that did that? Like maybe the first episode or second episode kind of made you not want to watch it, but then that third episode changed your mind? Let me know about that in the comments below as well. As always, I've been Sokovi. This has been my first impressions. Now go out there and watch some anime.